Man, okay, so I should start off, by the way. We're here with Mr. Benjamin Weinman of Dillinger Escape Plan, and first off, I should say that I'm a huge Dillinger Escape Plan.
You have a huge Dillinger Escape Plan?
Yes, I do. I'm more of a Dillinger Escape Flan.
Oh, Dillinger Escape Flan.
Delicious
treat.
Delicious. We recommend the Dillinger Escape Plans, guys, for sure. But no, Dillinger Escape.
Better than Dillinger Escape Spam.
Those sorts of where that meat comes from.
Yeah.
No one knows. Really.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Mystery.
But I am a huge fan, and we are just check that we're recording because I can't even believe that we're doing this because not to be too fanboyish because I am a professional, but I've been doing this for 13 years, and ever since I've started, like 2004, you guys haven't come to Lisbon, so there's no way this could have happened, and unless I traveled abroad, I guess. And I did once. I apologize to people who are watching this who want to listen to Ben speaking, but this needs some context. So, so I actually even I traveled to Milan. Nônô, who shoots on the show, shoots films and takes photographs, used to live in Milan, and I went there to see her and you guys at the Magnolia.
Oh wow!
And that was an insane show. I remember like Greg upside down, like on the scaffold or something.
Yeah.
And also in 2008, 2008, I even not remotely, actually, I was in talks with your booking guy because I was trying to book you myself. Okay. Something that I've done 0 times in my life. Before or since, yes.
Cool.
But just to bring you guys, but you guys didn't, the schedule didn't allow any trips to Portugal. Anyway, there you go.
We have played here before. And
yes, I know.
Liked it, yeah.
So you opened for System of a Down, I think?
We did. That was our first time.
I was still in school, so I had no way I could have, spoken to you guys.
Yeah. But I don't think anyone knew who we were at that point around here, probably. But
do you know what? People went to see. Surprisingly, they did, and surprisingly because you guys had just started, and System of a Down. I remember people going to System of a Down, like the first band. I don't even remember the name, but like they kind of blew them away. Like so, yeah. The first band made System of a Down, which is a good band, and impossible to play afterwards. Anyway, from now on, Ben will speak more.
They must be your friends, but we were probably a little weirder than the typical person around here.
Thank you.
But, if they're anything like you, it makes sense now.
Yeah. The introductions for 1 minute. I'm excited, guys. I apologize. So how are you, man? How are you, like, coming to Lisbon after all this time?
It's great. It's like we've been doing this for so long. I feel like there's certain places we would go to so many times, and it's kind of bittersweet because it may be probably the last time we'll be in those places.
Yeah.
And then there's some places we're playing for the first time, so that's really exciting. Like Iceland recently, and we're going to India in December.
Really?
Wow.
So
But and then there's some places where we haven't really been to often, so it's still very fresh, and the scene has changed, and all these things have happened since we have been there, like Portugal. So this is really exciting.
Oh, yeah, and you played at Mal, I think, at a festival with Marilyn Manson, I think, back in 2002, and I was still not doing this profession.
2000 later than that.
Not too.
I think System of a Down was 2002.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know anymore, but I know I wasn't doing this. So
You were young.
yes, I was. Yes, you were young as well, dude.
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
I started this band actually, and one of our biggest fans were the Knights Templar, those guys, who I knew had a big part in the history of Portugal, right?
Yes, that's true.
The Uber driver was telling me all about it today.
Really, Uber driver.
That's how old I am. I'm hanging out with those guys.
You're not Templar Knight old, are you?
I mean, I wasn't like in Dillinger yet, but I was starting to get into it. The first seeds of the band were born then.
Okay, sure. The first seeds of our country were born. Were born as well. Our seeds born.
Seeds planted. Let's
Planted,
say.
yeah.
First seeds were planted, yes.
Yeah. With interviews, I try to have not to ask the same stuff everyone asks, but and try to do my best. But this is unavoidable. So you guys are ending up, are breaking up, and so I can understand the end of the cycle thing, but what triggered that? Was during the writing of the album, maybe?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a slow burn. You know, your life. You use the band to try to figure out life, and then if you're lucky enough to be able to maintain being in a band and as actively as we have been for 20 years basically, then you use the band as a way to still try to figure out life as you grow and change. And I think you just, after having the opportunity to express yourself like we do and travel the world and meet so many people, I guess the goal is to just try to figure out what's important. And I feel that we've really accomplished like everything we want to accomplish in this band. So it would be for the wrong reasons if we kept going. You know, it wouldn't be pure. I don't think it would be. We wouldn't necessarily be. We could maybe do another one or maybe another one. I don't know when it would be, but I personally brought it up because I wanted to make sure that we kept control of the beast. You know what I mean? And end it on our terms. And I think 20 years is a nice round number, you know.
True. So. But you don't believe Dillinger has become like in the same terminology, it has become a big beast, but not necessarily a dinosaur, really.
No, I don't think that. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm naive, but like we feel the top of our game, honestly. Yeah. We feel creatively, you know, we were very inspired during our last record. We were excited. We were into everything we were doing. We weren't like, it wasn't like a chore. It wasn't something that we felt we, you know, had to do to make a buck or something. Like we enjoyed every minute. Felt that what we were doing needed to happen for ourselves, for everything, and the shows we still feel excited about. So that's what's great. I mean, knowing that every show is getting closer and closer to the end, it gives it all meaning, and that's the point. I just always wanted this to have meaning from the beginning. That was my thing, you know. I think that's my role as the original member, is just to make sure it always has meaning, or that everybody is into it for the right reasons, or some element of that. It changes, and everyone's lives change, and people change, but to maintain some element of what we started with, I guess. So
you're kind of like the Bob Fripp of Dillinger Escape Plan, right? The original member, the guitar player, and writes most of the things.
The old dude, yeah.
The old dude. He's very odd. I was with him. Not to make this about King Crimson again, but because a lot of my shows like that. But still.
Good old Bob Fripp.
Good old Bob Fripp. Uncle Bob. Pep Bob Fripp. gonna do next? Like again, this is probably something everyone is asking, but okay, you must have plans, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, if they kind of ask, or they just assume they know, like oh, you're gonna do your projects, like Greg's gonna do his thing, and I've started another band or whatever, but I don't know what everyone's gonna do, honestly. Like because I don't think any of us, like the other guys, the reality is I don't think any of us will ever come together and do something. I mean, this sounds like, at least to us, I don't think we'll ever do anything as important as we did together, honestly. I don't think I will ever do anything musically as important as I've done with these guys. I don't think, and I don't think they will either. Not that we won't do something good or important, but not as important, I don't think, as what we did together as a group. And so, and I've only, for 20 years, I've just been an animal about Dillinger. Like, I put everything, like nothing in life existed for me. Everything suffered except for, this. So I think I'm just excited to put the same kind of efforts into new things, whatever it is. And for me, I don't know, I may just kind of disappear for forever or something, I may never play in a band again. I don't have plans to try and replace this with something else.
Okay.
Like I'm not trying to get into some commercial band or make more accessible music or go into some weird, or just become a jazz guy or something. I have no plans of like doing anything like that. So as of now, I really don't know, but like I think Greg is gonna do the Black Queen, his other band, and Liam's got some bands, and Billy's playing drums with everyone. He loves playing drums as much as possible. So.
And but is this going to be more dedicated to family time, for instance?
Well, absolutely. I mean, not being on the road for months at a time definitely will lend itself to being more attentive to family and nurturing those relationships. So that's nice.
Is that like 8 months in a year, out of a year, you're dedicated to Dillinger? Maybe?
Yeah, well, I just had a baby.
So congratulations on that.
Yes. So it's funny because it's not like I had a baby and decided that Dillinger should end. Like, it really is like when you close a door, three more open. That's like, I believe in that magic of life like that.
And plus, no one's blaming babies.
Right.
Yeah,
well, you could easily say, like, I think that nobody would say that's a bad reason, like having a baby and wanting to be there for it. I mean, if they did, whatever. But
some people always will.
Some people be like, fuck that little shit, man. I like this band, man. The fucking little bastard, fuck that thing. But
Mastodon used to have a song like Baby doesn't belong in here, kick it outside or something. The Aquatine thing.
Oh, right, yeah. Totally.
Kill it with a linoleum knife or something.
There you go. I mean,
not yours. Yours is great.
Yeah, well, so far so good. I love my baby. But yeah, no, so, I mean, I've had some cool opportunities come, Father being one of them, after announcing, that the band's ending.
While listening to the record, I was thinking, I think Honeysuckle might be the most out there song you've ever done. And do you agree, or what is the most, in your opinion, what's the most outlandish song Dillinger has done?
Man, it's hard because you always every album you think there's something because.
Well, you try with most of them, right?
Yeah. I mean, I always try to do something that's headache-inducing for us. We've never written music that we thought was going to be easy for anybody. It's always been hard for us, thus even harder for people who didn't sit there and write it for a billion hours. So, but Honeysuckle's intimidating for sure. When I listen to it, I'm like, I don't want to play that. I don't. it's intimidating for sure.
Do you need a lot of practice to go on the road, for instance? Because it's a lot of notes.
Yeah, well, we don't really practice, and I'm not saying that. I'm not advocating for that. Or like, I mean, I talk to bands or artists. Like, I manage an artist, and I work with other bands sometimes, and they're like, we need, I need like 2 weeks to get ready for that. We can't just. I'm like, it's one show. Really? Like, you can't just like everyone do your homework and show up and play? I don't get it. No, man. I'm like, wow, okay. So you're spending more on rehearsal space than you're making at that show, but whatever, and like I in one respect, I think that's amazing that people put so much. But for us, like for me, life is like inspiration to me. I want to be like so aching to get out there that like it's 100% like pure expression out there. Not like, all right, I practice this so much that like I'm literally bored of this. Like I'm going on stage and I'm like going through some motions of this thing I've played all week. I've just been sitting playing the song 1,000 times. So for me, it's always been muscle memory and like when it's time to step up, you step up. And but for some other people, it's about playing. Like Billy plays all the time. Okay. And but I'm like not one of those guitar. Like I literally just like to play and write, and so I'll just walk by the piano or sit on the drums or grab a guitar, and like I don't like to be too
Well, I've seen you play live, and if you can do it, then other people can. I mean if you can do that on no practice,
Yeah, well, I think what it is that we've toured and played for so long, and when we're in the studio, we're so meticulous about really playing everything and getting it right and getting it perfectly imperfect. Like we don't like it to sound like a mechanical or like, right? You know what I mean? Like every take is slightly different, but it has to sound right. And in order for it to sound right, sometimes I've got to play something a billion times. And we don't like take the shortcuts because
there's no backing track with Dillinger live, right? Like
no. Sometimes we'll have like a horn or something, like on like Milk Lizard. There's this little horn thing that
it's a trigger, right? It's
trigger on a pad, right? Yeah. But no, we don't. We don't do that stuff.
So important. I think band sounds. It's the sound of death, really. Sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's hard because with new technology, you want to take advantage of things, and like sometimes recording to clicks gives me the ability to then play with MIDI and do cool sound design, which I love. It's like really fun for me, enjoyable. But like we never. What we do in the studio, I think this is what you're talking about a little bit, as far as like playing to like specify like meters and things like that. Like what Billy and I will do is play in my little home studio, and just like it's really hot, there's no windows, and it's really loud, and we just play ideas and riffs and ideas, and when we finally get it going, I'll record it at the speed that feels energetic, and then I'll create a click to the recording. So I'll map the playing so that the energy is right. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's playing to a click. I'm creating a tempo to his playing. So it's all random, according to the energy of just where it's going. When I'm not worried about playing it perfect, or he's not worried about playing it perfect, or we don't necessarily know what's going to happen next. And that's important, really to have that spontaneity of like jamming and like feeling the moment. And then I can go and play with manipulation and MIDI and stuff to some kind of a tempo that's set, and he can even practice to that tempo, because sometimes it's not exactly if he was going to play it precise, it wouldn't necessarily be that fast, or like you know what I mean, because he'd have to worry. But now he's got to go play it precise to the speed he was playing it when he didn't care about being precise, you know what I mean? And I just think there's some emotion in that helps. So we're not against using technology and like being creative with it, but we try not to like sound like a machine,
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
to answer your question, after recording these songs and playing them live so many times, it's almost like rehearsing isn't gonna, if we don't have it by now, we're not gonna,
ever.
Yeah, like getting together 1,000 times and playing a billion times is.
And again, I've seen you guys live, and it's all there. There's no, I mean, you can't really. I don't know. I couldn't tell any botching or any. Not that I'm worried about that, because I don't really care. What matters is the energy. But still, you guys played. I don't know, amazingly for what the stuff you're doing. Like you're throwing around the guitar like no one's business. Like, I mean, it's not a question. I'm just
no. I mean, people say that, talk about that. I'm glad that it ends up coming out. It's
very impressive, really.
Acceptable.
Yeah.
Because like
music is the most important thing, but you guys' show is really impressive. You're welcome. but okay. What about the hardest one to execute for you? Like the hardest Dillinger music that's hard.
Yeah. Well, honestly, the more monotonous stuff is harder. Like the stuff that's more happens a lot, because I'm so used to playing songs where things change so many times.
Okay.
That when it gets when it repeats a lot, that's when my mind starts to wander.
Oh, so like you'll do like really odd chords in Retrofied, for instance. Like you'll be like somewhere else.
Well, yeah, like if I'm playing something that's monotonous, or
I
like
don't find it monotonous, but it's your word.
Or something that repeats itself more than a typical Dillinger song. That's when my mind can start, because I'm going into a robotic thing, and my mind can start wandering. And I'm like, wait, did I do that 4 times, 3 times? You know what I mean? So those are honestly the times when I kind of miss a part more often, when something's changing constantly, because that enables my mind to be focused, to be in the moment. And when you start doing kind of like the more simplistic stuff is when you start thinking, did I leave the iron on? And that's like when I get out of it, because I'm starting to,
So no playing in pop bands for you.
Yeah, I'll be the worst. I'll be the worst guy playing, in a pop 2-part, pop band or something.
Isn't that like a sort of ADD or something?
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, there you go.
Absolutely. It's meditation for me.
Okay. This show is called Made of Things. It is Made of Things. This show is called Made of Things, and it's based on the idea. We ask everyone this because it's the theme of the show. This actually has been more serious than our usual.
All right, we can get out of that.
But it's the it's the most it's whatever, dude. It's we try to have a fun show, really, but it's been more interviewee because we needed to address all these important things. So because you guys are breaking
cut it out.
Yes, I'm cutting everything out. Everything's going. No, I cut nothing out. But maybe things like what triggered you into going into music for as long as at least until now. Like, did you hear something or watch something or read something that made you go like, I want to do that, or something happened in your life? Did you have a moment when it clicked and you went like, oh, I want to do that?
I think with most people it chooses you, whether you're a photographer or painter, it's one of those things where you just want to be good at something and you want to belong, and sometimes that ends up sticking. So picking up guitar or keyboard or whatever just ended up being what came natural to me. Like I wasn't going to be a guy playing sports or whatever. It just what didn't interest me. I wasn't like really good at it, and music is what kept my attention. That's what made me.
Did you have like
as far as like wanting to make be a band and all that stuff? I mean, watching MTV videos from where coming up, and I actually. I'm old. I'm like 100 years old. So like I was like fucking.
You're a Templar Knight.
Oh yeah, I'm a Templar Knight. I am fucking. And you know, I was there. Not only did I have a Jesus soccer jacket. You know, he was yeah. I had
really?
I was a fan. Like I would like wear his jacket and his number and everything. But
the original hipster soccer player, right?
Yeah, and I would root him on and stuff, and I was there. But
I got inspired as well.
You did, seriously. Yeah,
you haven't noticed yet.
Yeah. But I think he was actually a female.
Really?
Yeah, people don't want to know that.
And non-white.
And he was black.
Yeah.
He was black female. Transgender.
And
he's for everybody.
I think
for the people. For all the people.
I think we have still a lot to learn with that character.
You might have to cut that
from that
out
character.
In this country.
No,
but
I'm not cutting anything out, dude. I've told you before. I think that's obituary, maybe.
Was it?
I think so.
Like a ghost.
Well, it's the ghost of metal.
Ghost of metal.
The ghost of metal. Manowar just walked by.
That was total Manowar. That was total Manowar. That was total Manowar key. It was in Manowar key. But
key of Manowar.
Key of Manowar. That was amazing.
Did you? Are you for or against Manowar?
I'm for it.
I'm here for it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, basically, what I'm trying to say is, I was around in the '80s, and so like, what got me into wanting to play music? Like any other thing, like seeing like huge rock bands. You know, like I'm from New Jersey. I'd see like Bon Jovi playing in front of thousands of people, just rocking out, wearing tight pants, and like just people going crazy, and just guitar solos, and like that's what got me into it. You know, I just wanted to. It was amazing. Like I was like. Rock stars were awesome, you know, and then I would like back then before the old internets.
Yes. Which existed. Something that happened.
Yeah. No, the folklore around music was amazing. Like I loved imagining who these people were. You didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You didn't know what like.
I think about this all the time.
Anthony Kiedis. Like
exactly.
you just knew what you saw.
Yeah,
You read one big article in Rolling Stone or something, and you saw the videos, and that was about it. Like you saw what you thought it was. You didn't know about the problems or if they were real people. They were magical.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They were like magical. Like, and so.
For instance, being a fan now, I already knew that you were a dude. Not like this flying, fire-breathing thing,
right.
like Kiss or something.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should just think I run around jumping around with a guitar all the time.
Exactly.
And that's all I do, making weird chords and shit. You know?
Exactly.
But
don't bother me now. I'm trying to figure out this pattern.
Right, they should know that I, you know. So it was just the folklore and like the mythology of music and the stories and the crazy. That was exciting, you know. Hearing about Ozzy like biting a bat's head off, or like that was amazing, you know. So
and Alice Cooper was intimidating, and not anymore.
Well, now you know, you're just like trying to sell a ticket, but like either way, it was exciting.
Yeah. guess I had a point before with Manowar. Are you going to before you call it quits? Are you going to get everyone on stage, the former band members, and everyone play together in the long goodbye?
Did Manowar do that?
Yes, they did.
With several Harleys on stage.
How many members were in Manowar? I don't even know.
15.
15,
Is it like one original member?
Drummers.
I think it was everyone.
No, but like now is like at the end, was there like one original member of Manowar?
I don't know anymore. They're still going, I think.
Still going, right? I mean, all I know is that anytime somebody,
I think Joey's the original member.
I think as long as they stay on testosterone therapy and they can have greased chests and stuff like that, they can stay in the band, you know.
You know,
and then
we
if
haven't
they start to get fat or like, you know,
Oh, they
don't
aren't.
look like if they don't look like super, you know, Conan like He-Man freaks, then they can't be in the band anymore. But they'll let them come out on a Harley for a second. But you know, you can't have like Manowar. You can't have like soft serve ice cream with leather on and long hair. That doesn't work. And spikes. It's got to be like some kind of a He-Man or something.
Like
you know,
beefcake.
yeah, some kind of greasy He-Man or something. So, like, yeah. But those guys, you know, those guys were like from medieval times. You know what I mean?
With a double axe and a babe.
Yeah.
You know. There's
Flight of the Bumblebee on a bass. You know, they were just unheard of. They were magical, mystical, magical things. You know.
It always gets me like riding horses made of steel, metal knights, and like this lexicon of 7 words.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, there's a website that auto generates Manowar lyrics.
Really?
And you just click, and it's completely plausible.
It's like this
the
could
sounds,
be.
because it's like horse and steel, thunder, sky, man, and that's it. And it's amazing. The website is amazing.
Metal,
like I have like files and files of saved hypothetical lyrics.
They just have to. They probably use it for their new songs.
Maybe. This guy who passed away, unfortunately, but maybe you remember he had health issues. But there was also a lyric generator for Wesley Willis. Did you remember that?
Do I know? I actually own his bowling ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it says it's a giant ball, a see-through ball, has a skull in it, and it says Wesley, and the finger holes are like this big. Like I can't use it. He was a massive guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually own his bowling ball.
Well, this went obscure, and we know, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
One last thing before we go. I think this is relevant information for anyone that's not from Portugal. But in Portugal, because of the Manowar thing, there's terminology for there's a term which is olive oil for some sort of bad taste. You know, because olive oil is amazing, but
Nothing wrong with olive oil.
Nothing wrong with olive oil, especially over here. But
Delicious.
for delicious, it makes everything better.
Olive
but
oil.
not everything.
Cheesy.
It's the equivalent of cheesy,
greasy,
exactly.
Right.
Greasy goodness, kind of.
Yeah.
It's really cheesy, but you like it.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
enjoy it.
Olive oil? You say it's olive oil?
But it's
Azite.
not like this tone of greasiness.
Like, okay.
And sugar.
Yeah.
Amazingness
Yeah.
and sun. That
So like if something's like a guilty pleasure, like it's so cheesy, it's
I
good.
don't believe in guilty pleasures,
I
but
don't either, but like it's so bad it's good,
But
kind
no, it's kind of just cheesy,
Yeah.
really. So Manowar is the epitome of azite.
Okay, and that translates to like
That translates to kind of cheesy.
like cheese,
a little
olive
bit of
oil.
extra olive oil and something, just think of Manowar.
It's a
Kind
little
of important
greasy.
when talking about metal over here.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I
cool.
mentioned. So now you know.
That's a cool thing. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
There you go.
It's really cool.
Always learning.
Thank you, man.
That's awesome. This was, I cannot tell you enough how, dude. I've been meaning.
This is my last chance to get to the people of Portugal.
I just did something really stupid. I'm sorry. Just like or something. It's that actually. This is
Olive oily.
Hello YouTube, hello iTunes. This goes out to the world, so everyone in the world now, like everyone knows about olive oil.
Every
single person.
Important cultural realization.